Okay, Reds, updates on the transfer side of things this bank holiday Monday. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the update video today. It is around KOBBIE MAINOO. We touched on it this morning. We said that KOBBIE MAINOO is surplus to requirements. What the hell is going to go on? We've now had two sources come out and say that KOBBIE MAINOO is up for moving away from Manchester United. This actually could be a real story developing now in this last week of the window. I don't want it to happen. I don't want to be in this situation, but we've been talking for days now on this and how we fit him in. It's 2 games without any game time, and Ruben doesn't really look like he's got a clue of how to fit KOBBIE MAINOO in the team. And now that's led to reports from TalkSports coming out saying that he's open to a move if Manchester United get a right offer. Graham Bailey has also come out and said that Manchester United would like to sell KOBBIE MAINOO, but KOBBIE's more open for a loan. Now that tells me one thing. If KOBBIE's open for a loan, is he fully trusting in Ruben Amorim and wants to still play for Manchester United? He's a Manchester United fan. He's a Manchester lad. He has played for the club all his career throughout the youth academy, as we know, and he wants to still be at this club. But the manager right now is stubborn and stuck in his ways, as we know. As much as we love Ruben, there is going to be players that fall by the wayside, and KOBBIE has to think about his Manchester United career, football career, and England career on top. Let's not forget, with Ruben in situ, he is not going to get into that World Cup. Does he want to be in the World Cup? Of course he wants to be in the World Cup. You can say he's young, you can say he's still got many years, but KOBBIE MAINOO has had a taste for international football and wants that back again. You can guarantee that, definitely. So what Graham Bailey is saying, Manchester United have several offers on the table that would, there are several clubs that would take KOBBIE MAINOO. TalkSport also saying this, but on loan. Manchester United, though, would prefer to sell him. So what does that tell you about the hierarchy and who they're backing? That says to me fully that they're right behind Ruben Amorim, and they will do whatever it takes to give him the money to go out and get what he wants. The thing we've got with this is, if KOBBIE MAINOO is moved on, then Manchester United have to buy a midfielder, and it opens up a completely different conversation altogether. Manchester United moving KOBBIE MAINOO on, yes, you might not be able to fit him in the team right now, but what about when we do need that extra midfielder to go to if something happens with Bruno Fernandes? Because you could always be a suspension away. You've got AFCON coming up as well, when we're going to be losing out on players. KOBBIE MAINOO might get his chance in and around there if he waited it out. I think he's just fed up with it. But if KOBBIE goes, United are going to be left in that situation there where you've got no Ahmad, you've got no Mbeumo, and you're looking at a midfield there, possibly, potentially, and this is where Baleba comes in and is a different conversation as well, because if he comes in, he's off to AFCON as well when it comes down to December, January time. So really interesting developments, but like I said, and I want you to get your comments in on this here. If the football club is willing to sell KOBBIE MAINOO, according to these reports, but KOBBIE MAINOO would only like a loan, what does that tell you? Are you thinking exactly the same thing that I am here? In that KOBBIE wants to stay at the club, but he's not keen on Ruben Amorim because he's just not playing him. Like, he might like the system, he might like the way that he's doing things on the pitch, but he just can't get on the pitch. So we've got no idea what's going on behind the scenes. You can only assume, if these reports are coming out, that KOBBIE is actually considering this. There is nothing indefinite. There's nothing set in stone with anything for KOBBIE moving on. But you have to start to ask the question now, don't you? You've got to go, well, if he's not going to play, then he has to move. And Bruno Fernandes is never going to be dropped. This has been made clear. No matter what conversations go on, Ruben is stuck in his ways. Bruno will play every single game because Bruno gives absolutely everything for Manchester United, and we love him for it. The conversation with Bruno that's been going on this morning, I've been from the morning show onto Sky Sports talking the same conversation about Bruno. As good as he is the one that's sort of in the way from anybody else making any progress at the moment. And while Ruben's clinging on to every single result that he can get, he's going to leave Bruno on the pitch because, like he said, he kept Mason Mount on the pitch because he wanted a goal. Didn't make any sense to me because MAINOO scored more goals than Mason Mount. But still, if you look at Bruno Fernandes, he's never going to drop him because Bruno can score a goal out of nothing. And that's the one thing that you cannot argue with Bruno Fernandes. He'll turn it on and do something when you don't expect it. And this team probably needs that more than ever right now because there is no system in working here with the forward lines. We talked about Bruno Fernandes forever and a day about how he's not fitting into that midfield right now. And I think some of the other players like KOBBIE are getting fed up of it. You would be as a player, wouldn't you? You would look at this and go, I'm not going to play. I'm just not going to get in this side. And all of a sudden, you've got another Manchester lad, Manchester United fan, that is now looking for a move away from the football club because the manager doesn't like him. Ruben is stubborn, Ruben is stuck in his way, and he has made some very, very big decisions. But what did we say at the start of this window? There's going to be some very, very upset Manchester United players at the end of this window. Some might still be at the club and upset. Some might have left because they're upset. I look at KOBBIE MAINOO, he could be either way right now, because if he stays, he's not going to play. If he goes, then he's leaving his boyhood club, and it's a difficult decision for him. That's why, if these reports are right, KOBBIE MAINOO wants to do the loan, because he feels there's a chance of coming back to United. And you cannot really fault him for that. And I have to say that now. In terms of Man United fans leaving the football club, it does look like we are a matter of hours away from the financials being agreed and Rasmus Højlund leaving Manchester United. This come from Fabrizio Romano early doors, saying that he is moving very, very close now to an agreement, which is a option with a triggered obligation. We spoke about this on the morning show early doors. Rasmus Højlund's deal from Manchester United to Napoli could bring the football club as much as £40 million sterling. Yes, pounds. That could be exactly what Manchester United need going into next transfer window, of course, because we're not going to get this money until then. So this is money for the future. So don't think that Rasmus Højlund leaving is going to give us that massive kitty to go out and spend straight away. We know we're going to save on his wages, because in this deal, Napoli are going to pay the full wages for Rasmus Højlund in full. So that off the books for United, 4 million-ish. A loan fee of approximately 5 million. So you're looking at making around about 10 million here for Rasmus Højlund this summer, and the rest probably coming in at the back end of at the start of next season, the end of this summer coming. But again, it's one of them situations where I think he's trying to squeeze all of his number 10s into a side. And if you are not in that, if you're not in that group of players that he likes, like Mount, Bruno, Ahmad, and Mbeumo, Cunha, then you're going to struggle. And again, this falls into the category of Joshua Zirkzee. Apparently, there's a big plan for Zirkzee and KOBBIE MAINOO. But at the start of the season, they're not going to be used. The big plan, what is the big plan? I don't know. A game against Grimsby, you'd expect that to kind of happen already, to be honest. So the big plan has to be Zirkzee and MAINOO playing Premier League games. Otherwise, it's pointless them being here, because we've got a lot of cover already in these positions. Maybe they're thinking the big plan is when AFCON starts and you've got no Mbeumo and no Amad Diallo in the side, that these players are going to get a chance. They're not going to wait that long. They've got 3 international breaks to go and fight for a place in the World Cup right now, these players. And if they're not playing, they're knocking on Ruben's door, asking the question. And then if they don't like what they hear, they're on to their agents and they're telling them to get to the club and get a move away. They want to play football. And KOBBIE, Zirkzee, they're not at the moment. Rasmus Højlund, it looks like that deal is wrapped up anyway, and that should be moving forward very quickly. No update on Lamens yet. That will come eventually, I'm sure, today. I'll bring you the news as and when. We'll be back live later on anyway on FUTV here. Don't forget, we have got the watch along tonight on FUTV. Liverpool at St James's Park against Newcastle. Don't miss out on that. Talk to me in the live, not in the live chat, but in this comment section here, please, everybody. What do you think about KOBBIE MAINOO? Should he just go? Just that. If you were KOBBIE right now, are you leaving Man United? Get in the comment section, click that subscribe button up on your screen and give this video a like. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you all in a bit.